Hey guys, Nanomachines, and we're taking another look at the Transformers trading card game, and of course this time we're doing a discussion video. And I'd like to ask you a question. Is it worth playing vanilla Transformers? Now, you might be asking me, like, Nanomachines, what is a vanilla Transformer? And a vanilla Transformer is something that doesn't have an ability. Like this guy. Robot mode of Deadlock does not have an ability, thus he is vanilla. Running something that's vanilla is generally just a bad idea in a lot of cases, but in other cases it might be actually playable in a lot of ways. A lot of people look down on them a lot. I am one of those people who look down on vanilla cards. Maybe more than I should. But they do have certain merit in certain places. For instance, their point cost might fill a void in your deck. There are points where taking a vanilla Transformer might be better than taking anything else. Even if that other option you might have might actually have an ability, that ability might do pretty much nothing for you, or might actually be a hindrance to you. I've seen a lot of times, like for instance, people taking in Demolisher in certain lists that just should not have Demolisher. Demolisher loves tank decks, and other times likes Nemesis Prime and Cosmos. Those are the only times you run Demolisher. Anywhere else, why? It'd be so much better just to take pretty much anything else, including a vanilla. And there are vanilla 6-cost characters, like, for instance, Red Alert. Red Alert, has 5 attack in robot mode, 3 attack in vehicle mode. He's kind of very average in his stats, even has 0 defense in his robot mode, but he can fill a void in certain lists that are needed. For instance, quad cars. Quad cars, I don't think is that good in a couple of ways, but it needs quad cars in order to function. For instance, Bumblebee, the one from the starter deck. There's Jazz, but even then you probably shouldn't even run Jazz in certain cases because you might not be able to support him. Pretty much, you're going to have to run Red Alert because he's a car and 6 points. But he's vanilla. He fills a void and kind of does what you need him to do in certain things, even if that is just to be a body in that spot, Sure, there are sometimes, almost always, a better option to play. Certain lists I've seen tech in Flame War. Now, Flame War is the ultimate in terms of point filling. She has 5 points, and she does nothing. She has very minimal effects, but Flame War herself can definitely fill voids very easily. But unfortunately, she pretty much does nothing. She only gives you tough 1 in your robot mode, and her vehicle mode, only when you flip to it can you actually get bold 1 on your characters. And bold 1 isn't good. Neither is tough 1. None of that is good unless you're stacking them. Just having tough 1 nets you almost nothing in the long run. They're still going to be dealing a lot of damage to you, and it's not like you're flipping 3 extra with body armor or even reinforced plating. There are just so many better things to defend than just relying on Flame War's effect. But she fills a void. She's not vanilla, but she's close. Vanilla stats are also usually pretty high considering. Like Bombshell. Bombshell has 4 defense in his vehicle mode. That is massive. Absolutely massive. Of course, he's vanilla, which means meh. And he's actually very high points considering, which means he's even more meh. But The good news is that 4 defense is really, really high. Now, is it good? I don't think so. I don't think Bombshell is worth playing, especially because of his high point cost. But when you're looking to fit another Insecticon in your list, and you don't want to play the good version of Insecticons, look no further than Bombshell, right? I think you know where I'm going with this. You should never, ever, ever discount something just because you don't see it has any apparent positive effects. For instance, let's take Starter Bumblebee, for example. I absolutely adore this card. Starter Bumblebee is a ton of value out of this character. Now, if you look at his stats are kind of atrocious in a lot of ways. Like, he only has 3 attack in his vehicle mode, 2 defense, that's like, meh. Robot mode, he has 4 attack, woo, right, you know? And if he's flipped to his vehicle mode, he can give you all Pierce 1. Not that good. Even his robot mode's practically vanilla. But I like this card a lot because it's a 6-point leader that isn't Jazz. Jazz and Bumblebee kind of are the same thing in a lot of ways, but Bumblebee is almost always a better pick than Jazz. Now let me tell you why. Jazz is a very, very niche character that goes into very niche builds. He has 0 defense in both modes and necessitates you running a lot of white pips because of his abilities, which both require you to flip 2 white pips in order to take effect. Bumblebee is more consistent than that. He doesn't require you to build your deck around him. He just kind of is. He's a 6-point leader. You can just sit on your field and just know for a fact it's always going to be there. Bumblebee requires no commitment to play, whereas Jazz requires a lot. And Bumblebee he does nothing. Like this, those abilities are bad. But what he brings to the table are innate effects about him. For instance, him being an Autobot leader, being able to use the Matrix of Leadership, him being Car. Both of those things bringing a lot to the table, where otherwise you could take RC or someone also like Swoop even. I guess this is what I'm saying right here is don't judge a book by its cover. But with that, I'm going to have to leave this one here. Thank you very much for watching my video on the Transformers trading card game, and please check out my channel for all of the other deck profiles that I do and other discussion videos. If you liked this video, please press that like button, and if you really liked it, please press that subscribe button, and it tells me I'm doing something right. And if you really want to know when my videos go live, hit that bell icon so you're notified. Thank you very much for watching, and this is Nanomachines, signing off.